In the first cases of lead poisoning that were clearly documented from lead paint were in 1914 in this country, in 1904 in Australia, when it was identified that lead paint was causing kids to go into convulsions, comas, and death. In Baltimore, specifically at Johns Hopkins, children were identified as going into convulsions from having ingested lead in the first publications in 1914, 1917, then a host of other publications in the 1920s which identified lead paint as a problem. At that point, the industry had been following it, but at that point they became intensely interested in the issue and began a campaign to both convince the public that lead was not really a hazard and that lead to their children was not really a danger, and they did that by a massive marketing campaign in which they produced toys for children, they produced little booklets and ads such as this one, which was a paint book for boys and girls. They had a whole series of them going back into the teens that basically talked about the way the little Dutch boy and his lead paint would make their life much more pleasant. And this basic story goes from children who are living in a room covered with kind of 19th century wallpaper, and they were all depressed because it was so gloomy and dark. And a 19th century figure called, a kind of Dickensian figure called Old Man Gloom, was kind of happy because the children were so miserable. And then the story goes that the mother notices the Dutch boy painter walking by, invites him in, and the children are encouraged to paint in their little booklets and to tell their parents to buy their paint. And then the Dutch boy painter comes in and shows them how to mix paints. The Dutch boy white lead, which is basically this stuff, how to mix it into different hues and different colors, and to create a beautiful, nice, bright room in which all the furniture is covered with paint, their walls are covered with lead paint, the kids are watching and helping them paint, actually, and finally they have their room transformed from dark and gloomy into a modern, lucky and happy, colorful room. And so by the end, Dutch boy, the Dickensian character, the Old Man Gloom, is chased out of the house and leaves because Dutch boy has made these kids all happy, jumping up and down and playing in the midst of all this poison.